Hard. Good shot. High run. Just give him boys.
So really excited for this one. It is semi-finals day at Baden Masters. We started off with 20. By last night, the top 8 teams battled out the quarterfinals. The 4 winners are on the ice here in the semi-finals. Only 2 will make it to the final. But the exciting news is there will definitely be a Scottish team in the final. Because take a look at our featured semi-final here at Baden Masters 2024. It is the reigning European champions, Bruce Mouat's team from Scotland, and they are playing the current Scottish champions, Ross Whyte's team, also from Scotland. This is a real clash of the titans out there. And look what we have today, gang. It's active cam.
Top 8. Yep, early, early. Top 8. Hard line. Okay, line. Top 4. Now. Top 4. Okay, top 4 is great.
I'm Lorna Mettig, and I will be hosting us through this terrific semi-final. I don't typically get up at 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning, but I'm very happy to do so today. Because what a feast we have going on. And don't forget to set up your phone or your iPad with the static cam on sheet 3. No less intriguing. Over there we have the champions of the universe, Niklas Edin's team from Sweden, and they are playing the Swiss champions, Yannick Schwaller's rink.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Yeah.
So really 4 giants of the sport all doing battle this morning.
10.5, 11. Okay.
Let's find out how we got here. So yesterday evening we had 4 quarterfinals. Bruce Mouat's team, they were first off the ice. They played Marco Höstli's team, winning 8-3. It sounds like it was a easy peasy game from Mouat. It wasn't really, but it was still a strong performance from them. Ross Whyte's team, they had to overcome last year's finalists, last year's champions, Joel Retornaz's rink from Italy. And I know we all like Ross Whyte's team, but I was a bit sad to lose my beloved Italians. But what a game that was. I had predicted that for a final, and I would say it was certainly worthy of a final. It was a real crafty game. Niklas Edin, they were the 4th and final team to qualify for semi-finals. My goodness, they pushed it all the way to the end. They really had their backs against the wall against Benny Kapp's team from Germany over on sheet 1. But finally, they set themselves up for a steal in the 8th and final end, and they got a steal. They managed to get a mistake out of the Germans, and it is Edin who appears here in the semi-final. And finally, Yannick Schwaller's team, they were playing another Swiss team, Michael Brunner's team.
11.
Again, another close match, but it was Schwaller's rink who triumphed 7-4. So that's how Bruce Mouat and Ross Whyte got here. It's become a bit of Baden Masters lore now that we've never had a Scottish winner at this competition. Will one of those teams out there have something to say about that later on today? The final is at 1:30 this afternoon, European. And that's a winner takes all. There's no playing for 3rd place.
Same weight, probably. Okay, we've got 11.
It's Mouat's team throwing yellow. They have last stone in this first end. Fairly traditional start. Ross Whyte's team interested in preventing Mouat's team from building stones and building an end.
Hard. Clean. 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 Yep. Hard. Clean. Clean. Yep. Yes. Hard. Hard. Okay. 11-4.
Nice and tidy from Grant Hardy. Who's going to be first to blink here in this clash of the Titans? Now, I know we've been teasing it for about 3 days now, and it's back. And it's not even half-time quiz. It's going to be between ends quiz. We are going to have one trivia question between ends. And we've been asking the teams some fun little questions about some of their team trivia. And we will be featuring the teams themselves. So there will be one question between every end. So hopefully that means there will be at least 7 questions.
Well then, Carl then.
We will be doing that again in the final, where we have fabulous prizes.
Hard dunk.
But several of us in the media team, we were very busy last night, talking to all the teams and asking them some fun questions. So keep your eyes open for the QR code will be coming. And using that, you can register yourself in the quiz room. And then let's find out some fun stuff about the teams. Oh, there it is. So go ahead, scan your QR code, book yourself a place in the quiz room. And then let's find out who has a secret talent, which sport they would play in Summer Olympics. All kinds of cool stuff. Although I was somewhat alarmed, honestly, that very few of the teams have a team song. I'm not sure how they manage. Our first look at Edinburgh's Boy Wonder.
Well then.
It's Bruce Mouat.
Never have it.
Just slipping a bit behind T, and that gives Ross Whyte a chance to follow that in, put a bit of pressure on already in this first end. If you want to take part in team trivia, we're having one trivia question at the conclusion of each end. So go ahead and scan the QR code. Book yourself a place in the quiz room. The quiz room was bouncing last year, so get in quick. So Ross Whyte's final throw in this first end of the Baden Masters semi-final.
Love that room. No line's good. Walk it right in there. Love that room still. Get the weight here. Curl if you can.
He's put a lot of handle on that, but we've seen how curly the ice is.
Hard.
And the stones, they can really take off towards the end of their path. And that's found a decent spot.
Back eight's okay.
It's ahead of Bruce Mouat's stone. But is this an early chance to put a 2 on the board?
Same weight. Back line.
Ice Master Jamie has been working all round the clock to bring real world quality ice to this competition.
5. think so.
It's really swingy, really fast. That's what we like. Final throw in the first end.
Hard.
It's Ross Whyte's team lying one. It is Bruce Mouat in your picture with the last throw. Bobby Lammy getting to work on that stone right away. Trying to catch the curl. He has swung it all the way round, and oh, look at that. It is an early chance to get a 2. So a nice throw from Ross Whyte, but not nice enough at this level. So, here we go for the first time in 2024. The quiz room is pretty full already. I can see some frequent flyers in there. Let's see if we can get it to work. It's brand new technology we're using this year. Here we go. What is Team Whyte's craziest travel story?
All you, Grant.
Long and boring wait times, getting stuck in airports.
Okay, Hammy.
Ross causing an international incident, getting an airport closed down. Forgot to set the alarm. Most people thinking brooms didn't arrive, having to play with club brooms. Let's find out.
Halfway. Halfway. Line's great. I don't.
Well, it's CC who got the answer right. And we should be able to find out from the team themselves what the answer is. Oh, okay, on. Not to worry. On to the second question. Now, if you were listening in yesterday,
Close.
you might have heard this. Oh,
Line's good. Line's good.
it's new technology, guys. We will come back to it, but we should be able to hear from the team themselves what the answer to the questions is.
Line's fine. Still Grant.
Fully. Half in the forward now.
And in the semi-final, trivia just for fun. And in the final, we have fabulous prizes. Good morning, Sue. A dedicated superfan.
Top button. Okay, line's good then. Top button. Line's great.
I know both these teams very popular all over curling world.
Yep.
Superfan Michaela staying up late. Thank you for joining us.
14.
If you're just wakening up, looking for some nice breakfast curling, you've come to the right place. We have such a tasty semi-final for you.
Top 12, top 8. Here you go.
It is the two giants of Scottish curling. It is Bruce Mouat's team, the current European champions, and they are up against Whyte, the current Scottish champions. It's Mouat's team who put a big 2 on the board in that first end. So we see Whyte's team throwing up the centre guard here in the second end.
Yeah.
But now they have to try to bring that into play. So we see them attacking the middle.
You definitely didn't give us like clear back to.
Bill. Girl.
I think we will see quite a lot of big shots this morning. Both of these teams with quite some firepower at their disposal.
Or you just guard. This is pretty flat, but it is there.
And what happened over in sheet 3, that is semi-final 2.
A wee bit longer.
And that is Team Edin from Sweden. They are playing Yannick Schwaller's Swiss champions.
Same ice, really.
And that was a blank, unsurprisingly.
Only taking an inch down. Kicks. Kick.
Line's
tight.
Line's good.
So objectives
Just past the
reversed for the second end.
Good.
Just past the red.
It's now Whyte with last stone.
Yep.
So we see Bruce Mouat's team just piling stones towards the centre, trying to make sure that Whyte doesn't have chances to build red stones in the house.
Right, hook one on top and then play the run, or play this now. The only concern is they get one here and then we're
15-2.
nose.
And Mouat's team being fairly successful at that at the moment. You can see a couple of stones out front as well that Whyte has to do something about. Another big throw from Duncan with Fadgen.
Whoa, straight.
But he's not quite finding the angles, and the problem is he is leaving red stones out front in the centre there, so he's getting neither one nor the other, so he's not really getting the run back, and he's not really clearing the guard. So a tough start for Team Whyte already this morning.
Okay, go for it. Line's good.
Line's okay. Still got a little bit of room. Bobby when you can.
Line's okay.
Straightforward
Just walk away.
strategy then for Bruce Mouat. Let's just keep doing that.
Try and touch the
Needs to
centre.
curl, boys.
Leave the hard stuff to Whyte
Really needs to
and his
curl.
team.
Go, bud.
Good there.
That's nice. Nice spot.
Good there.
Oh, good morning, lead and skip.
Still rip.
Oh, you're a Swedish chef. Maybe you are keeping eyes on Team Edin over on the third rink 3 as well. So a pile driver from Robin Bryden.
Good shot.
We need to clear some space here. Oh, he does that beautifully.
Actually not
Really
far
opens
away
it
from
up.
that. Good shot.
Good result there.
Roll with edge of 4.
Very good.
Yeah.
And I realise we haven't said hello to the teams yet, so let's do that.
Roll to edge of 4 is okay.
Yeah.
Throwing yellow.
12.
Yep.
It's Bruce Mouat's team.
Touch
At
more
lead
that,
is
Robin.
Hammond McMillan. Second thrower, Bobby Lammy. Third thrower, Grant Hardy. Fourth and skip is Bruce Mouat. It's Grant Hardy in your picture there.
Yep. Yep.
Throwing red, looking pensively in the background. Lead is Ewan Kyle. Second, Duncan McFadden. Third is Robin Bryden. Fourth and skip is
Hard on the roll.
the man in your picture there, Ross Whyte.
Very good. Yeah.
Still some work to do for Ross Whyte's team to try to make positive use of their last stone advantage, but things looking much happier now than
11 and a half.
what Robin Bryden was looking at with his first throw. Really clearing out 2 or 3 stones from the centre, and now he has an opportunity to do a nice dainty hit and roll.
Off you. Clean.
Yep.
I know all of us here in the online virtual club, very knowledgeable crowd, so we know all about Ross Whyte's team. But I was saying a day or two ago that I really feel for Ross Whyte's team because they've not had maybe the opportunities on the world stage, say at Europeans and Worlds, that they've probably earned. They were all set to go to Worlds and then COVID hit.
You also play this, which I don't really like.
So they must feel a little bit like they're battling against the universe itself. But they are the current Scottish champions, and you can imagine how difficult that is. You have to get past all of the other 4 Scottish teams that were here and a few more. First throw of the second end for Bruce Mouat.
Yep. Whoa.
Bruce Mouat's hat is the only hat still playing in the competition.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Curl.
If you're newer to curling, you may be surprised to learn how interested we are in hats. Well, that's a fine throw from Bruce again. Again, just that down weight. You don't need much more than back ring. Just wants to push that red through, but give the stone a chance to curl. Now, don't be horrified, Ross Whyte fans. That is quite a lot of yellows hanging around indeed, but it is Ross Whyte's team playing red who have last stone. And that's a nice angle there. You can see there is still a lot of space. So not panic stations. Don't be scared.
Well, I think my fear is we've got a couple of ways here to do it then.
That's our sponsors there on the left of your screen. Big thank you to them. This competition, always super popular. It filled up in record time this year, and we had a few teams on the waiting list. And that's all thanks to our sponsors. That means we can take care of everyone, make sure everyone has a really good experience. We have super ice from Ice Master Jamie. We have the hotel right next door. And the restaurant is set aside for the players. And I know if you're a boys team, then you love food.
Line's good. I like it.
So Ross Whyte,
Clean.
not exactly in trouble, but certainly could use a couple of peachy stones here.
Room. Whoa then. Carl. Hard Carl.
And that's a fine effort from Whyte. Just corner freezing
That was good enough.
that yellow. So it is now red lying one. Oh no, Bobby's got his hat on as well. My apologies. We have 2 Mouat hats out there. Merch is not yet a thing in curling. There are fledgling merch attempts in some of the teams. So final throw of the second end for Bruce Mouat. He would love to prevent Ross Whyte putting 2 straight back on the board. Big heavyweight coming at this. Did Ross Whyte do enough with his first throw? Not quite. That red has gone. And with a bunch of yellows hanging around, nothing else to do than outdraw them. So a similar weight from Ross Whyte, just touching forefoot. That will be enough.
No.
But considering how this end was shaping up halfway through, I think that's not too bad for Ross Whyte's team. They struggled a bit to build much with this in this second end. Final throw of the second end for Ross Whyte.
Line's good. Line's good. Oh, tracking a touch.
He wants pretty much the same weight he just
Line's
threw.
back. Super pretty.
Ewan Kyle
Line's
and
great.
Duncan McFadden sticking really close by this stone. Looks pretty good. Grant Hardy ready to start clearing up. Everybody realising that's a good one. So well done, Ross. Never easy drawing against 3, even when you're as good as Ross Whyte. And that is a point on the board for the Scottish champions. So after 2 ends, the score is Bruce Mouat 2, Ross Whyte 1. Now, you didn't miss a bit of quiz. Don't worry, gang. We're just figuring it out. As I said, there's new technology this year. And we should be able to hear the answers from the team themselves. So we're just figuring a few things out, don't worry.
Line's good.
We've got lots of questions to lots of the teams. We've been learning all kinds of cool stuff.
Line's great. Curl your short mid, bro. Hard.
But not much about team songs. That doesn't seem to be a thing for these top teams.
Light. Ice is fine, it's just light. Ice is fine, we're just light.
Let's see what's going on in semi-final 2 over on sheet 3. It was a score of a
Line's
steal of
okay.
1 to Schwaller in the second end.
Line's fine, all grand. Okay.
That is Team Dropkin taking part in the quiz. We will come back to that.
Top 8.
Where's that? He then makes chip and roll, it's not great.
Not sure I like top 8, Ross. I think you could probably just about get it. Line. Line's fine.
So it's Mouat again with last stone in the third end of our featured semi-final at Baden Masters 2024 edition. We started with 20 teams from 11 different countries.
Still back 12.
We had a chance to watch all of our visiting teams on the live cam.
13-9.
Last night, the top 8 teams squared off in the quarterfinals.
Just through.
And how did our 4 semi-finalists
Okay.
get their place here this morning? Mouat beat Marco Husley's team 8 points to 3. Ross Whyte's team overcame last year's champions. My beloved Italian team, Joel Retornaz, 5 points to 3. Nicolas Edin's team squeaked past Benny Kapp's German team. 8 points to 6. That was a real nail biter right to the end.
13.
And Yannick Schwaller's team overcame their fellow Swiss, Michael Brunner's rink, 7 points to 4. So we are down to the top 4 teams still standing. The 2 winners, they will square off in the final at 1:30 European. And yeah, I think you can take your pick of any of these 4 teams for a juicy final.
Clean.
Touch heavy.
Yep.
But we've got plenty of curling to go before then.
Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Curl.
I'm happy to see Bobby Lammy wearing nice warm socks today.
Take a shot.
Sometimes Bobby's socks are really short and I always worry that his ankles are cold. I told you that the curling world is very much about the fashion choices as well.
Yeah. You probably need perfect weight to make it. Good.
Tight. Okay.
Halfway tight.
Gotta
go.
Good to go. Lines is touch narrow but fine.
Wait, get it there.
Oh, not curl, not curl.
Ross Whyte's team then, they don't really want to let Mouat get any further away from them.
15-9.
I'm just throwing up a second guard there.
Come in here.
This is full on aggressive in the third end.
Half in the
But
four.
gosh, these 2 teams know each other's game forward and back.
Going dead bar, they lean it out of touch.
And maybe Ross saying to himself, you know what, it is only the third end, but we have to keep putting the pressure on Mouat's rink. We can't let them take control of this game. So Ross really going with the aggressive strategy, putting out a couple of centre guards, and then he will be relying on he and his team to sneak one in behind, try and get a steal.
Can we nose that?
Yep. Yep.
Back button. Let's try. Really try. Top button now.
13-7.
And he must have antifreeze in his veins, Ross Whyte, because goodness me, a whole bunch of yellows piling up, but
We got it.
mostly behind tee.
14 is good though.
Never had a Scottish winner in Baden. And I've been telling Scotland that all weekend to kind of stoke some rivalry there.
Lines running.
I've been bigging up how cool it would be if you're the first Scottish team to win the Baden Masters.
Line's good.
Weight's good.
Line's
Gotta go.
Contrast over on sheet 3. Edin's team and Schwaller's team, the Swiss, in sometimes different constellations, different lineups, but yeah, they've won it about 5 times between them. And
corner freeze here.
nice throw there. Yeah, now what? Those yellows behind tee, you can see why that's more of a problem when you get a dangerous stone ahead of tee, like the red, then
Single, it's better.
not so easy to punch it backwards because it's just going to run into your yellows.
You got enough to do this?
I see now the chat's going crazy for socks and hats.
Double peel.
I feel like team socks
Try and nick it,
could be a good thing, you know. Make sure everyone's got nice warm ankles.
Come back here, we can almost get it spinning.
Show off your logos.
It's a shot.
I just feel like you still play the freeze to get shot.
Yeah.
Scoring one's okay here.
Yeah, I like that.
So a quick discussion about what to do here. It's Mouat throwing yellow. And conveniently in the yellow uniforms. They've got the last stone in the third end here. Big weight from Bobby Lammy. He's really good at those.
Whoa! Hurl! Okay.
So catching just about everything. And that certainly changed the landscape a bit. There is still a guard out front. You can just see it on the extreme right of our screen. So Ross Whyte looking for same kind of thing.
Touch left, Ross. Okay, line
A
five.
lot of big throws going on sheet 3 as well. You can
Line's great.
keep that on in the background
Good to go.
on the static cam.
Line's
Mine's
great.
good.
Can't
So
bottom
Robin
this line now.
Bryden with
Line's great. Yep.
a chance
Lock
to
on. Lock
put
on.
another red in behind cover there, and he's done that beautifully. What a shot. Lovely throw from Bryden there.
Yep.
14-9. Air high.
Quite contrasting teams, the two Scottish teams there, Mouat and Whyte. I feel like if I needed a team to win 10 games in a row for me,
Yep,
I'd probably go with Ross Whyte.
yep, yes!
But if I needed a team to win one game at a championship or something, I'd probably go for Mouat. And Bobby Lammy. Oh no, sorry, that was Grant Hardy now. Again, just clearing out the front, changing the landscape a bit, but that lovely red from Robin Bryden still there.
That's too nice.
And what's Team White's objective here in this third end? Still plenty of ends to go. But really trying to make sure that Bruce Mouat does not have a shot to make 2 points.
Okay. Rush down if you can.
Whoa, whoa.
Rush down.
Ooh, Tom asks, what's my prediction for the final now?
Curl then.
I wasn't very good before. I think I
Whoa.
called
Curl.
Whyte Retornaz in the
hard.
final, and they ended up cancelling each other out in the quarter. And I said my dark horse prediction was our Norwegian visitors,
Think I've got the
the
hole.
World Junior Champions.
Just when you like it.
So I wasn't particularly accurate before.
Heel.
And then of these 4 teams, gosh,
Stunk was just always like, I
can
kinda
really
like the
go
way
either
we
way.
do it.
Run the single one. I don't think so, Jake.
I don't like to go brush down.
You think I could throw less weight or not?
All the time. But you can't.
And this early stage on sheet 3, Edin's team, not for the first time, getting involved in all kinds of capers.
Really hard to tell from this end.
Not really run 10 feet more.
You can maybe throw normal or control if you want.
I'm not holding the shooter anyway, am I?
I.
Let's go easy peelers.
Yeah. I don't see you holding the shooter now.
I wouldn't quite say that Edin's been riding their luck exactly. All they can do is, put themselves in a winning position.
Yep. Whoa.
But they really squeaked through by the narrowest of margins
Hard.
in their quarter-final.
Hard!
The Germans just not quite able to push it over the line, whereas Schwaller had, I wouldn't say an easier game, but certainly they were a bit more dominant in their quarter-final. And between the two Scottish teams, I I think that's an even harder question. But this aggressive strategy currently having reward for Whyte, and he's going to continue with that. That red very nicely tucked in front of the yellow. And if you just block that path, pretty difficult to do anything about that red.
First down. Line's fine.
So at last, a relatively straightforward shot for Whyte.
Curl. Curl. Hard curling. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
And he's landed that in exactly the right place. He doesn't want it too far away from the house, or there is space to come round. He doesn't want it too close, or the firepower of Bruce Mouat can spring the whole lot. So I think that's found a nice place there. Oh, good morning, Kaz. Thank you for getting up early in Dumfries. Yeah, a lot of curling goes on in Dumfries. Really nice facility there. You're always very well looked after at Dumfries as well.
Yep.
It's a big weight for Bruce Mouat with his first throw of the third end.
Shot.
He does move everything.
I'm just wondering how good the actual Christmas tree are. I was just thinking like a hair inside was all. Just scared of.
Lovely raise takeout from Mouat there. But still, this aggressive strategy from Whyte still working for them. There's still a red hanging around, and there is still chances to put a second red in behind cover. Or do you want to guard your own red? That's what's in the house just now. Just that one little red left lying around. But if your objective was to stop Bruce Mouat building an end and getting another 2 on the board, then that's going pretty well. Only 2 stones to come, 1 each for Whyte and Bruce Mouat.
As long as you made contact, you were doing something pretty good.
Yeah, I was just holding it and stuff.
I know, I was worried about the same.
No, that's what I was saying. There's no point from a garden anymore.
The yellow might have stuck that one. There, we got it the other way.
Top 8, literally just that underneath the garden.
So decision's been made. We want to take away any chance that Bruce Mouat can put another 2 on the board. And if you're really clever, could it even be a steal of 1 red?
That should get underneath. Like, as long as it's this side of the stone, it's not going to be a double there for black.
That's fine. Oh, no, he's just moved. No, sorry, Robin. Right, mate, that's fine. So maybe 2 feet store.
So final stone in the third end for Whyte.
Hair narrow.
Line's fine. Line's good. Top 8. Line's not narrow at all.
Everybody staying close, but no sweeping needed at the moment.
Carol. Oh. Yep, go back, Bun.
So he's got it dead level with
Same weight.
the red that was already there.
I don't think we can run through now. Same weight.
So no chance for Bruce Mouat to pick up 2.
Well, I think we have to make the corner slightly higher. Same weight.
But should be fairly straightforward if you just aim right in the middle of those reds. You will spring the pair of them in a nice symmetrical fashion. Last throw of the third end.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa.
Here it goes, right in the middle. Oh my goodness, and for an encore, he's spilled his own. Nice stuff. So a little bit unexpectedly, we have a blank in the third end. That means the score remains at Bruce Mouat 2, Ross Whyte 1. Yeah, let's look at that again. And yeah, the gap between the two reds there big enough that with that big weight that Bruce Mouat can throw, it carries on its way out of the house as well. That's what's going on sheet 3. It was another steal to Schwaller. I tell you, Edin gets involved in more than his fair share of nonsense. But they are not champions of the universe for nothing. And more often than not, they do somehow find a way.
Halfway.
1, 2, 1.
Didn't add.
Right. I think he's going to double.
Scott's hoping that we'll see many more matchups. Whyte Mouat, I fully agree.
Yeah, Ross's was 15 swept, top 8.
It may be a Scotland lineup, but no less tasty for that.
Pretty close.
Close line. Line's good. Line's good.
Full 4.
4 then.
Top back.
Clock very impressed with
Top back.
Bruce's form so far. I fully agree, yeah.
All grand.
Very good.
Still looking for our first Scottish winner of this championship here in Baden. One of these teams will represent Scotland in the final.
You were 13-8, I think. 13-9.
Top 8, top 12. Line's running
And
there.
Mouat's team, they've been here a couple of
Still
times,
gotta go,
but
Tudge.
not been a happy
Stop it.
hunting ground
Carol
for
now.
them up until now. But yeah, they do seem to be in a determined mood this year. They were the only team to survive the round robin intact. They were the only team to not lose a game in the round robin, so they topped the standings. They were clear of everyone. The only team going through 4-0, and they were the first team off the ice, the first team to finish their quarter-final yesterday evening against Marco Høstmælingen, 8 points to 3.
We're called as I thought we were going to go in the first that fast. We had the Dropkin.
Now I certainly can't pronounce your name, but
Top 12's good.
all of our
Really
Asia
close
Pacific
weight.
fans appreciating that blank end, yes indeed.
I think you're low 40.
Too much room.
I'm not sure I know anyone that could throw a stone that hard to make sure both your opposition stones disappear and your own just keeps travelling.
50.
There are several shots that these boys have in the cupboard that
CDs come over here, short.
Really not possible for even a decent club player. Yeah, Scott's saying, yeah, it's not only Bruce Mouat and Ross Whyte. If either of them has a bit of an off day, there are 3 or 4 teams ready to pounce. Cameron Bryce, James Craik, Kyle Waddell, those teams all here this weekend. Not doing quite as well as last year. Last year we had 4 Scottish teams, they all qualified for quarter-finals. This year, just the 2 that we see qualified. But that's because it's really difficult to qualify for quarter-finals here, because we have really 20 of the best teams in the world.
Right now it's on it, yeah. Yeah? I mean, you have to get the reverse almost to stick it, but it does touch it right now. All right, yeah, they're close to being able to do that. It's very close. It's like they almost have to hit it half stone and just hope it nicks it.
That's fine, then. Have a double back.
Okay.
We certainly hear quite a lot about probably Mouat's team more than any other Scottish team, and that may give the impression that, oh yeah, I guess they just beat everyone.
See what I mean, Hammy?
And it's really not like that at all. Is that Mouat's team are, you know, just that half a centimetre ahead of everyone else all the time, and it's hard to express how difficult it is to stay that good all the time.
Line's good.
But it really is tough out there. It's not that these 4 teams in the semi-final, it's not that they just cheerfully beat everyone all the time. It's just that they have that extra centimetre here and there, just that extra, little bit extra consistency, a little bit extra accuracy, and that's what you need. Michaela asks, why do I think the Baden Masters title has proven elusive to all the Scottish teams? That's an excellent question. I guess it's because they don't have their favourite Iron Brew soda here.
10, 10.5 stone.
I do, because I have a secret supply. We're approaching the halfway. In our featured semi-final at Baden Masters, we have an all-Scottish encounter, but still 2 of the top teams in the world. It's current European champions Bruce Mouat. They are playing current Scottish champions Ross Whyte. And that's another fine shot from Robin Bryden. Lots of reds all over the place.
Control.
Can I go over the top?
We had a
Not control.
blank, a little bit unexpectedly, in the third end. Bruce Mouat coming in hot and spilling his own shooter as well. So strategy very similar then in this 4th end.
10.5. Half stone.
Ross Whyte wanting to make sure that Mouat's team do not have opportunities to build an end, that they do not have an opportunity to score another 2.
Solid normal.
Clean. Yep. Whoa.
Yep.
Hard.
Really good.
Really good to go.
Hard. All the way. All the way. All the way.
Hard, Bruce. Hard. Keep going. That's fine, bud.
So a fairly conservative end at the moment, the 4th. Ross Whyte succeeding thus far in preventing Bruce Mouat from building shots.
Oh, 10, make their hit a wee bit harder.
Over on sheet 3,
10. Yeah. Now that you try and go really
Yeah,
low.
I tell you, it's the Swedes who have their backs against the wall a little bit, but
Whatever you see, I don't mind.
they're used to it.
Go 11 and just try and get a wee touch lower.
They find a way.
You ever like trying to flop off your own, bump it back 12?
I don't think a blank here is too bad.
We play 8 ends here in Baden. If scores are tied at 8 ends, we will play an extra end, a full extra end. I know that some competitions, there are different ways now that you can do it. Sometimes if it's scores are tied after the regulation play, it's a one-stone shootout, which feels very brutal.
Whoa. Carl.
But we will play an extra end here if needed.
Whoa. Yep. All right. Whoa.
Robin Bryden then just clearing up the last of the yellows and getting a nice roll away. Lovely throws from him, neutralising the danger.
Third. Finish up.
Oh, get my draw one that way.
Clean. Oh, yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Hard, Hammy.
And all of a sudden, this looks awfully like a blank, doesn't it, gang? It's like we've gone back to the 1980s. And we shall have a final score of 2-1. And you think I'm joking, but yeah, it was a different time in the 80s. That was before free guard zone existed at all. 5 or 4 rock version. Open hit for Ross Whyte in the 4th end.
Whoa. Clean. Carl. Clean. Clean.
No problem there.
Control. Yep.
Gosh, you can feel the tension out there, can't you? These two teams so closely matched. As I said, we may hear more about Bruce Mouat. They may be kind of the kings of Scottish curling in a way. But Ross Whyte, absolutely the crown prince.
Yeah, alright. We've kind of seen that last two games probably. Since the Schwaller unit just got that touch there. Like last night didn't really try the foot off.
So same shot for Bruce Mouat. We will just exchange that red for a yellow.
Yep. Really hard.
And probably both teams just
Clean.
having a bit of a breather. The level of difficulty of an open hit like that.
10-1.
A bit more straightforward than a lot of the stones they'll be facing in this game. Taichi saying everything looks easy around these teams. You are right, Ta. They do make it look easy, don't they?
Yeah, general mid-4 and right inside.
And really, this almost a different game now at this level. Both the 5 rock rule and the no tick rule coming into play because these teams were getting so good. I mean, truly, at the club, I really don't think we need either the 5 rock rule and certainly not a no tick rule. Your average club game, even good club players, it's not at all the same level as this. But yeah, these top teams really pushing the quality all the time. We have 1 stone coming in this 4th end. We will be at the halfway in our featured semi-final at Baden Masters. And who's going to blink first?
Yep.
We'll see a bit higher weight from Bruce Mouat this time. He wants to make sure his shooter leaves the field of play as well, which it does. It is another blank. And you can just feel how close this game is out there. That's a quick shot of what's going on sheet 3. The Swedes getting themselves out of trouble. I'm not sure if that was a 1 or a 2 though. Real tight game going on over there as well. Well, that's an interesting idea. A couple of folks in the chat talking about blank ends and saying, what about if you blank 2 ends in a row? Maybe you lose the hammer. Yeah, certainly. I think that's a discussion that is always ongoing. And we can see why. So that if you really have lots and lots of blank ends, depends how it occurs, honestly. So that fourth end was a very different style of blank than the third. But certainly in principle, yeah, loads and loads of blank ends does not make for such an exciting game for us viewers. So yeah, it's a conversation that's always happening in the background. I do think the situation is noticeably different in the 5 rock rule. I think we get fewer blank ends these days.
I was going the wrong side.
But certainly, yeah, we're always keeping an eye on the game and always updating rules if it helps make the game more interesting, keeps the game moving along, keeps stones in play. Michaela happy that Team Edin is finally on the board, and it was a score of 2. And if you don't have the static cam on your phone or something next to the main game here, I tell you, they were just in all sorts of trouble, the Swedes. But yeah, they're champions. They find a way.
Still Grant. Okay, 13-8. Very good.
We're throwing double centre now. Probably throwing double centre now, right? We're probably throwing double centre now, right? So are you going long or are you going tight?
Where are you wanting it?
So the scores are tied then at the halfway on sheet 3. On the other semi-final, it's Edin 2, Schwaller 2. Here in our featured final. So close this game, I would expect nothing else. But it's Mouat 2, Whyte 1.
I don't think they knew it picked until halfway, or until me and Hammy started cleaning the path.
Really curling. Curling.
Could just draw the other wing. Yeah, bite 4. Bite 4 is a really good spot.
Clock saying it's up to Ross to force a score out of Mouat, sort of. But I'm not sure Ross Whyte could be doing an awful lot more than he already is. He is trying to put guards out front.
Yeah, you're there.
And it was a whole bunch of reds
Line's good.
all over the house in that fourth end.
Line's good.
Until all of a sudden it wasn't. So I do think Ross Whyte is
Top 8's okay. Top 4
doing
good.
his best to force the issue. But that also tells us about the quality of both teams, really. That Mouat's team is able to neutralise all of these efforts. Oh, Tom, I'm so sorry that we've not quite figured out the trivia yet. As I said, it's a similar idea to last year, so we do have some fun questions, and then we have some video of the team telling us the answers. And we're just struggling a bit to get the video playing within the live stream.
Signal looks pretty good, does it?
So I think, yeah, Ross Whyte has certainly done the right thing in this fifth end. He's got centre guard out front. He's got a red in behind it.
Yep.
But the middle order of Bruce Mouat's team, very capable of destroying all that work.
Zone 2.
Halfway, tight.
Okay, halfway's great.
Halfway.
And Ross Whyte persisting. A game like this with two of the best teams in the world,
Halfway.
it can very easily come down to just one half shot being the difference between these two teams.
Okay, just need to sit.
So indeed, Ross Whyte just sticking to this strategy. Keep trying to force the issue. Keep putting stones in play. Keep putting a guard out front. I was going to say they have to make a mistake sometime. But this is Bobby Lammy we're talking about.
Clean.
Two really contrasting games out there. A kind of chaotic good game going on sheet 3.
Good.
And a real cagey one going on here in sheet 2. Neither team giving an inch at the moment.
Line's more aggressive.
We're still peeling, huh?
Carl then. Carl, you won.
If I could walk up and place one half buried, I'd be tempted. But... Sorry?
Alright.
It's okay.
So, same again from Ross Whyte. He's really doing his best to force Bruce Mouat's hand. But Mouat correctly just trying to neutralise the danger.
Yep.
As we've discussed, the Scottish nomination process a little bit murky, and the Scottish Federation, they nominate the team that will take part in a European or a World Championship. So as I said, Ross Whyte's team, they are the Scottish champions at the moment.
The garden again.
But it was not Ross that went to the Worlds this time. And so that potentially is an important consideration in this game as well. So the Scottish Federation will surely be looking at all these matchups throughout the season.
Line's good.
Tighter line.
And as I said, I'm not from Scottish curling anymore. I do not know how they make such decisions, but I imagine they are keeping an eye on all of their teams, see who's in form, to see who's winning games, and I guess that would inform their decision of who to nominate to send to Europeans and Worlds. So I doubt our teams are thinking that far ahead, but certainly both teams very well aware of the importance of being the top Scottish team.
Just playing any sort of chase, do us anything.
Is the other thought, yeah. Don't mind this though.
You get past that and centre line gun.
I know, but look, it's probably...
Looks tough.
So different to your first one. First one tracked out really well, but that one just didn't look right. It was out.
I thought like I let that one go. I thought it was a better line.
Yeah, I agreed. I didn't think because he turned the other one, I thought we'd run.
Big leg drive from Grant Hardy.
Back throw.
Clean.
Easiest shot nose.
My first thought was not the best throw, because the other thought was
We are at skip stones in the 5th end of such a squirrely semi-final here in Baden.
You have to throw it like
that's harder
higher.
and I'd rather throw this before trying to play that chasing over here.
So you had none of it.
Dead buried.
Yeah, you can make this like dead buried behind the
The two winners of the semi-finals, they will progress to the final, which is at 1:30 European.
I've got to make something perfect to like here. It's not even a double for it. So I think this is a shot.
And even if
Play it.
your competition finishes here at the semi-final,
Let's straight cross it here, and I kind of
both the semi-finalists here, they will pick up a nice prize of 4,500 Swiss francs. The quarter-finalists from yesterday evening, they take home a prize of 1,500 Swiss francs.
I think this might kick further than you think.
So that's a bit of a consolation.
I agree, it's close, though. So hard, that's a hard shot. So I think we get just as good a result putting the nose here and selling this back here. Let me have a go at this.
I agree it's going to T-line, but that's still quite nice. If it goes to T-line, we're here.
So much jibber-jabber in this 5th end now. At some point, Ross Whyte has to play in the house. He can't just keep guarding forever. He needs to do something about that yellow. But I imagine he is concerned that there is a second yellow. And we've seen how accurate Bruce Mouat is today. I don't think he's even played a less than 100% shot yet. So what Ross does not want is to leave Bruce Mouat any opportunity to make a big score here.
I think it goes pretty straight back. I think 10.5.
I think between 10 and 10
That?
and 10 and a half.
in your back pocket or on your waist.
We had in mind.
So decisions made. Pretty easy stuff for these teams to just attack that front red, pop the yellow behind it, that's no problem. But critical is where Ross Whyte's shooter will land. As we said, if you leave Bruce Mouat some sort of double takeout, he seems to be in winningy mood this morning. And I'm sure he'll take it on. So important is where this red also lands.
Go! Girl! Go! Go! Whoa! Oh!
As we said, no problem removing that yellow.
10-7, dunk. Dunk. 10-7.
And certainly a tricky double on those two reds. I don't think you can make the double and hang around yourself, but Mouat still has 2 stones to throw.
You only have to roll an
So
inch
he and
to
Grant will be playing the rest of the end through in their heads. Saying, okay, if we do this, Ross Whyte will do that, and then we shall have, hopefully, this shot for last stone.
Very tough to get that red.
So same idea, that it's not so much the difficulty of this shot, it's more, okay, what do we need to do to make Ross's life difficult so that we then have a chance to score 2.
You have to put really quiet weight to get underneath.
Sorry? Just it's probably going to lie to and make me play it.
And with his first throw then, Bruce Mouat
Oh, wait.
Just trying to set himself up with a chance. He doesn't need to lie 2 after this throw. He needs to lie 2 after his second throw.
I think 10.5 should still. It'll be close. See where it lands, but I think on the out turn it definitely gets over there.
Hello, Rick. Rick having a very late dinner. I'm trying to figure out where you are then. You're either over in Asia Pacific or maybe all the way over on the west coast of the US or Canada. Thank you for joining us though.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Careful throw from Bruce. So no double taker available on those yellows. I wouldn't have thought, no. I'm pretty sure you can't do it that way. So with 2 stones to come, Ross Whyte needs to make sure that Bruce Mouat cannot make a double takeout and score 2.
Even if you net this, it might not go by that one. So the double kind of looks like it goes that way.
KG stuff.
Or you just go wide and hope this stuffs.
And to the surprise of probably no one, least of all me, we are getting slower and slower out there. But there is plenty of time between the end of the semi-final and the final. The finals are at 1:30 European today. And yeah, right in the middle of our 2 semi-finals.
Maybe 8 just to see if we touch this.
No team is dominating. Could still be any one of these 4 teams can book themselves a place.
If you're coming here, down, fairly straight. I think you're more than that, don't try and get right over there. Like 11.5 for catching here. I think so. Very close. I think 8's too much. 8's definitely touching here.
I don't know I don't see there being a huge difference between 8 and 9 whether it gets through this hole. If I'm being honest.
So important decision here. Again, not a particularly difficult shot in terms of, okay, we want to remove the yellow, we want to roll, we want 2 reds still hanging around, but we've seen how on point Bruce Mouat is this morning. So Ross and Robin, they will be discussing exactly where they need to land this red.
9?
Yeah.
To stay out of trouble.
The only other thing is you roll to where you're just underneath your brush, so it goes that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got options. I think we're throwing 9. Take over there.
Whole bunch of Swiss stones on sheet 3, not lying about anymore. So Ross Whyte's final throw in the 5th end. Big deal here.
Whoa. Whoa. Go. Go. Go.
Hard.
Go. Hard.
Goodness me. He could hardly have wandered up and placed that any better.
Can't remember. Yeah.
This is highest quality stuff from both of the Scottish teams. Ross Whyte and his team trying everything to just force the issue, trying to keep stones in play, and Bruce Mouat's team just neutralising absolutely every attack that Ross Whyte is coming up with. So it may be a bit of a game for the purists in terms of low scoring, a couple of blank ends, but a real fascinating encounter out there.
It was very close. I was not sure. I sat down like.
Hard line 2.
Line's good.
Hard line. Line's good. Line's good. 14-8.
Rick's in Bradford, Ontario.
Stay down, Hammy. Stay
So
down.
I get it. A late dinner and then a bit of a sleep. Up again for the final. Professional. Then off to the Jazz Festival. That's a nice way of spending your weekend.
Try and get in that third dot and keep on this side of the third dot if anything.
So finally,
14-8 for us next week.
Ross Whyte's team attacking efforts, trying to force the issue, trying to get Mouat to give up last stone, finally bearing fruit. Indeed, Scott's ass, perfectly played by Ross Whyte. It's hard to overstate like how good quality the shots are in this game. A succinct and very accurate summation from Taichi. This game is brutal, yeah. We saw something very similar last year. It was Cameron Bryce's team in the semi-final against Ross Whyte, and that was a bruising affair as well. It took everything they had it was Bryce's team came out top that time, and it took everything they had to get past Ross Whyte. Tom appreciating the efforts that Whyte's team are putting in here as well.
Sure. I think we're close.
Line's okay.
It wasn't quicker the first time we played it. The wing.
Go for Whyte.
So that way.
So for the first time in a long time, it is Ross Whyte with last stone in the 6th end, and I'm sure we will see them again really try and force the issue here. Scott's ass asking, will Mouat look to force? Yes, he will.
Halfway.
Let's think of our objectives, gang. So the score is 3-1. We are in the 6th end.
Okay, just go one then.
So we have 3 last stone advantages to come, so to say. So if you're Bruce Mouat, what is your desired path to victory from here? So if you would force Ross Whyte to score 1 point here, that would make the score 3-2.
On the same side there.
Then if you could find a blank end, and they certainly have the firepower to try to set up a blank end, Bruce Mouat, then you would be +1. The score would remain 3-2, and it would be you who has hammer in the 8th end. So that sounds like quite a nice path to winning this game if you're Bruce Mouat.
Here, line. Not bad though. Hard for line as well. Hard line.
Or even if you
Hard line.
try to force 1 point here,
Hard.
and even if you let Ross Whyte steal
Good.
another point in the 7th, that would make the score 3-3,
Nice, Hammy.
and you would still have last shot in the final end.
This can be tight in the third dot.
Huh? Can't really complain, he's not maybe doing much this week.
If you are Ross, then your path looks
Halfway.
a little bit more rugged,
Tight. Tight.
but if you
down the
can
line.
fashion a score of 2 here
Almost done.
in this 6th end, that levels the score with 2 ends to play, and you are in a much
Still all there.
happier position
My brush.
Still all
than
here.
you were.
My brush.
So great set-up play from you and Kyle, a double corner guard there. Really nice stone placement, those 2 guards far away from each other. We've seen how accurate Mouat's team are
15.
removing stuff. So you need to make sure your stones are as far away as possible, as awkward as possible for a double takeout.
Halfway, 2/3.
Line's good.
Think so. 2/3,
And in
halfway.
a chaotic good game over on sheet 3. Whole bunch of stones in play,
Halfway,
as
just.
there has been pretty much every
Well
end.
then, well.
But it is Enmar Schwartz drawing against a stone in the 4 foot.
Chase the top one, yeah.
Right, a touch high.
You can chase the top one if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You push it to here.
11.5.
11.5.
12.
I think it's got to be on that side of it. Like, I don't think 12 is going to get very far at this point. Yeah.
Benoit Schwartz successfully drawing against a Swedish stone in the forefoot. Well, that's a bit of a win for the Swedes, though. That was forcing Schwaller's team to pick up one.
Clean.
12!
So after 5 ends over in semi-final 2, it is Yannick Schwaller 3, Niklas Edin 2.
Straight. Hard. 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 Roll it.
Go on. Go, 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 go. Go. Right, go, 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 go.
Good try.
And precision shot there from Duncan McFadden.
Do like 2 if you ever like a guard.
Act.
And that's what they're going to need, Ross, Whyte's team,
Never like a guard.
if they want to come out winners this time.
You like it, yeah? Just because we like to.
Because we couldn't sweep it.
But they are well
If you were
capable
able
of
to
it.
sweep that, the speed carries on there.
Just guarding this straight up.
You could have swept it.
Might have to go a bit longer. Just get round here. It's an option.
That's more weight
Yeah.
than
I'm good with whatever one you prefer.
Yeah, okay. Fine leader.
I like it.
I really don't mind.
We can see exactly the reverse tactics that we've seen for the past 2 or 3 ends. So now it's Bruce Mouat trying to force the issue, trying to force Ross Whyte to score something so that they can get last stone advantage back. So Bobby Lammy not being asked to remove anything at the moment,
All yours, Hammy.
just persisting with cluttering up the middle.
All
So
yours,
Ross Whyte
Harry.
has a really nice stone in behind his corner guards, but if he wants to score, he will have to do something about the middle at some point.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, Bob. That's fine.
And that's important. I wondered, I can't see clearly from my angle, but now we can. We can see yellow actually lies 2. So that changes the complexion of the game. Certainly going to influence the decision making. So if Ross Whyte wants to score, he has to do something about both those yellows actually, not just the one in the middle.
Back 8, back 12.
You like that much more than
We're
what
definitely from you first.
Shouldn't be a double off this one. I think the only way we leave a double is probably if we nose, and it's that way. They're getting underneath them, great. Side that, you just play this now.
All against the free. Free's better.
Still anybody's game out there in both semi-finals.
If you're
It's
freezing, I'll be
3-2
dead on nose,
to
right?
Schwaller against Edin, and it's 3-1 to
Yeah, or the inside.
Bruce Mouat
Like right under these is pretty
against
good.
Ross Whyte. Two real exceptional semi-finals going on. No, not
Well,
one of these
you
4
just need to watch
teams
the straight
really
freeze,
having it their own
here,
way or
it's just that,
dominating the other.
half zone. So you either need to go right in here, or you need to be perfect frozen. If you think you can make this and roll in, I love it. Back 8, did you say?
I think whoever comes through from these 2 semi-finals, they will be delighted to have a few hours to just rest and relax a bit.
Back
I think
8.
both these games
Back
will
4.
be really
Back
exhausting.
4.
Yes!
It's all hindsight though, isn't it?
Really right.
He's just throwing that line,
Whoa.
he should be closer to
Back
the
8.
It's all
Clean.
hindsight, he's just throwing
Clean.
that line, he should be.
Clean. Clean, yep. Hard.
Look at that, he gets round that guard by molecules.
Shut up.
13-9 on that.
It's here for now.
Yep.
This is shaping up for one of the most precise games I've ever watched, I think.
I thought like
Line's great.
Line's good. Ring with anything. Hard then. We got room.
Curl. Curl.
Lots of room.
Curl.
Oh, good morning,
Curl.
James.
Curl. Curl.
I see you in the chat there as well.
Clean.
Thanks for
Clean.
joining us.
It was, looked like nothing.
And that is another really lovely throw
Oh, you got this.
from Grant Hardy.
Just over half. About half.
I'm exhausted watching this game. It is so tense.
Spin upper touch is probably nicer, no? Spin upper touch is probably nicer, no? I thought trying to put the same shot as Duncan get to nose. And leave that there.
Then half. Half.
Hit. Easy.
Yeah, you don't need to throw a rocket.
And you never really know how the quarterfinals are going to shape up. We start off with 20 teams. And then
Curl.
at the end of the round robin, all 20 teams are ranked 1 to 20. So
Curl.
you might end up playing in your quarterfinal, someone you've already played.
Good shot.
Oh, lovely cheeky shot from Robin Bryden there. Using his own stone to get towards the centre. Nice stuff from him.
They'll still eye shot.
Do we lie shot if we knows that one?
Oh,
Yeah,
Oscar
you know it's
Eriksson
pretty good. Good save.
making a beautiful diving save there,
You can't roll out anyway. You have to nose it.
so that their stone doesn't become part of our game by
They'll still be
mistake.
shot up here.
Yeah. Do you think so?
If you just get inside nose, it's really nice.
I think we may see an increasing frequency of committee meetings in this game, team.
See if we just stick it in and try and keep it underneath.
That's exactly what I was thinking, but
This is
Every single stone could be a game changer from here.
really tight by it. I'm liking this. And just stick it
That's what Bruce Mouat is looking
I've
at.
got a lot to score.
yeah, they're
There
probably
are
trying to bunk it.
some guards out front. There's still that double corner guard thrown by Ewan Kyle right at the beginning of the end, and a couple of
You can't drop past
centre
us, that's
guards
how tight mine was.
from Mouat.
They're maybe coming here.
She's got to go that way
Then it
somewhere.
gives
You've
me
got to
that.
hit and roll there.
It's nice.
David's watching in Australia, wondering how precise our teams would be if they were using the shared ice in Perth. I guess you mean shared with skating and maybe hockey as well. Probably not
I think you're a
as
controller
precise as
third
this.
Thanks for
playing
doing
this.
I kind of agree if we can make nose, it's perfect. I'm just wanting to roll an inch and he gets 2 under. If I'm So if he tries to corner freeze the angle of
Yeah,
ours.
it's kind of remarkable when
Sorry, mine went
you think where curling started, out on the frozen lochs in Scotland.
It's like a third.
I think in about the
9-5.
14th century, something like that. I think that's about the oldest curling stone that's been found from the Lake of Monteith. And yeah, that was what the Scottish farmers would do during winter when the fields were frozen over, or the lochs were frozen over. And I wonder what they would think watching the game now. And you really did sweep during those days. You did sweep to move little stones and twigs and whatnot out of the path of your stones. Whereas now sweeping is, it's a real science. That's a good throw from Grant Hardy, but is there a light at the end of the tunnel for Ross Whyte? That red, just thrown by Robin Bryden with his first throw, is hanging on.
Out-turn draw and kind of piece under the yellow.
I think he's got
Out-turn draw, piece under the yellow.
to go at all.
Yeah. The biggest concern right now is that they should always give us something back then. There, and then They make this, we chase this and roll wide. If I don't draw far too.
Like at least on the out turn.
So I thought was
Not unusual that the 6th end takes about as long as the other 5 put together.
Might leave it a double for 3.
So mistaking the 6th end
Yeah,
typically puts the game beyond you. We've only got 2 ends left after that.
I'm not against this, Robin. It's just going to be hard to score 2 if we don't.
I know. I just think if we make
So let's make a good decision here.
Yeah, I'm not
That's the
against
situation.
it. It's just
The
gonna be sitting
red,
top button.
Ross just touching with his broom there. That's line shot, but as Ross indicated a minute ago, Mouat's next stone will be that.
If you keep it beating this, if you ever came up short.
If you don't do something with it first. So what about if you come in off that red stone, similar to what Robin Bryden did with his first throw?
If you make it flat, then
I'd be concerned at that then.
playing a triple run.
You need to give Ross Whyte a chance to pick up 2 points with his last stone here. But the good news is, I do not foresee a blank happening.
I'm not against it. It gives us something to tap in. We can go.
Side by side with it pulling off.
Well, we need to be by it. We need to be by it so that we can actually use it. Otherwise, if it's there and he gets to here, I'm not going anything.
From deep, is this always locked?
So yeah, the
Yeah, but he stays in there.
problem or the concern with coming on the anti-clockwise handle is if you come up that handle, then
as long as you
that
can't
hit
make
and
the
roll
double.
is still open for Mouat, and we've seen how accurate they are being today.
Yeah, I mean,
At least if I'm short on this line, I'm covering it.
yeah, I just don't know where you can
What do
really
you
get
think?
to apart from perfectly a quarter under. A third to a half gets you shot.
Piece to the four is good, half on the four.
So decisions been made. They are coming on the anti-clockwise handle. Robin Bryden's face, a picture of concentration. As we said, being the
Good to go.
dominant team in Scotland, that does have consequences.
We only.
Half in the forfeit's great. Line's great.
So the result of this game, not only important in Baden, but important in Scotland as well.
If you can, boys. Hard.
Okay, so that just coming up a wee bit shorter than Robin wanted it, but
14-9.
no use behind T, so that's a stone they can still use.
Yep, I like hack. Yep.
Oh man.
Pull it right onto the pin. Yeah, 11-5.
James asks if there are time clocks. Indeed not. That is a resource issue. You need a lot of volunteers if you want to have time clocks. So we just try to make sure we have enough time between games. We are at skip stones in this 6th end of our featured semi-final at Baden Masters. We will have a Scottish team in the final. Will they be the first Scottish team to finally win here in Baden? But before that, will it be Team Mouat, the European champions, or will it be Team Whyte, the Scottish champions? So that is exactly what Ross Whyte was talking about, that gentle hit and roll.
Don't know what it gets. He's left almost roll wide to get this one moving. He's just going to blast the double. Maybe our best chance of scoring now.
Eek. No easy shot here for Ross Whyte. He needs to do something about that yellow.
It should move a good bit. But like this kind of route.
Just purely for double though. I don't know why the red's going to literally just come back right in front of it. And he nuts it. I'm not going to have a shot for one, actually. See what I mean? Like, if you go that, put that in front of that, sits there, and it just comes to here, he nuts that double, I've not got a shot for one apart from potentially that. Thinking maybe this. Try and hold for a
The
second.
game on sheet 3 pretty much in the same place. We're on 4th stones over there as well.
Hit and roll, then either draw for one or try and play kind of down weight chase.
It's the Swiss who currently lie, and they are trying to put a 2nd stone
He throws the dart.
in the
I
house.
think this is a shot to
Give
score.
Edin
I don't know where you want
something to play against.
12. Where do you want to go? I don't understand.
I just think it's a fraction how high I nose. It might spin back and it's hard.
Meanwhile, in our featured semi-final, a big decision here for Ross Whyte's team.
Bouncing very far.
Remember what our objectives are for the 6th end. Yes, Bruce Mouat would love to force Ross Whyte to score, or even a steal for Bruce Mouat is also pretty good. That would increase their cushion with only 2 ends to play. Whereas Ross Whyte, they really wanted to try to get 2 on the board here.
If you can get this far enough and spin it here, and then you get a miss it when you might have a shot. I'm okay if you're saying this.
Well, we need to make a decision, boys. Don't lose the rhythm.
You can maybe play it nose so that it bounces it slightly. It's not coming out here. And then nose might mean that it comes just a quarter out, so you might not be able to make the...
Over on sheet 3, it is Nicholas Edin being forced to
It's literally
draw for 1.
I just thought, like, I'm almost saying like a hair high, so you're not rolling very far, you're almost sticking right there.
Different style of game over there. And no problem at all for the champions of absolutely everything. That levels the score on sheet 3. After 6 ends over there, it is 3 each between Edin of Sweden and Schwaller of Switzerland.
I've not got a shot if they both roll. Well, I don't mind the nose. I just don't want to go high side. That's what I'm telling you. I don't mind the nose, but the high side. If we roll to here,
Just a minute, just.
and it rolls to there, and he nuts it, I've not got a shot for one. Because this is going to go in front of it.
No one thrown a stone yet in our featured semi-final. I do realise how important this end is shaping up to be,
Well, you have to throw that a lot harder then.
but I'm not convinced
That's not going in.
such a long discussion is helpful in the end. I think you, at some point you kind of start to lose your rhythm a bit. I'm not really a fan of
Hair high if he's
loads
one,
of jibber
I
jabber.
don't think it works. But I'd rather nose, and then at least I have this. Like back 8. Yeah, but the one that our shooter is going to be the one that we use to try and get rid of them. No, because that stone's going to be behind.
Lindsay wondering if they've got time for a nap. I think you probably do, yeah. Or
No?
if you need to run to the bathroom, now's a good time.
I just think he's just playing that straightforward double. If you're bouncing everything out the way.
It's tricky to work it out.
Can you make this here?
It is.
Something on this.
Yeah, I mean, I might have our shooter into this and try and spin it far enough. He probably
We
throws
will
the
play
guard
an
and
extra
then I might
end
have
if
this
scores
for
are tied.
something or
And
off
that 2-point difference, it's Mouat leading 3-1.
Don't see much else, guys.
That
I-
2-point
back it on the
difference
nose.
must be feeling like a mountain to climb at the
going
moment
high nose helps.
in the 6th end.
Yeah, like back line.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
Just to try and keep ours in the
Robin's
forefoot.
second throw there. I know it came up a little bit short, but Bruce Mouat was always going to play on the red on the
He's only trying to get this in the
clockwise
forefoot, like on the
handle.
nose.
And you were kind of always going to be looking at this position.
Back line probably okay with. Yeah.
So that's the situation.
Less. Probably slower still again.
Yeah, for back line you're probably close to 13,
Like,
low 13s.
yeah.
So after a big discussion,
Whoa! Whoa!
a big throw for Whyte.
Go! Go!
That is a decent effort from Ross.
Third. Okay, nothing for two. You just making double anyway?
Still has to do something about that yellow. Just touching the 1 foot. Lindsay wondering if the shot's worth waiting for. Well, I think that's pretty much what they said they were going to do, and anticipate what Mouat will throw with his final shot, and then
Already does have this. Stick it there.
presumably they see away with Ross's final throw to try to score 2 here.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to just make the double? Or do you want to not leave
I
the
think
button
Bruce Mouat can see most of that red.
Still good. No, probably not.
Yeah,
Barrier on the nose.
if he could ever just
I like that.
remove that red. Yeah, both of the guards are really
Realistically, I'm going to link all.
hugging that centre line,
Okay.
so that red is fully open.
I think so too. Okay, boys.
Barrier. Yeah, right on the nose.
To be fair, he's probably just sticking that there for his one, no problem.
Right, normal weight double.
Does it not like might spin onto his though, no? Or I guess maybe.
It might,
Maybe seeing
but
something I'm
you can
not. I
stick
think
it
if you,
into it, like-
even if you don't get the
regard,
double
does that
red here,
yellow
I think if you
stick
just
in
get
the
the front
red?
one, you're going to be
Before the guard,
blocking
before
that
he's not
handle, and Whyte will have a real tricky one to get out of trouble.
Actually, you were a bit sweeping there, actually.
Yeah.
Not that soft,
Spins up.
Oh, oh, oh.
Over that, or is it into this?
I thought we'd decided, but nope. We're all back again.
Well, he's not a shot there.
And if we guard and he runs the guard, has he got the guard into him? Not really.
Yeah, they seem very concerned about something, but even Whyte scoring 2, it's not terrible for Mouat.
He's got to catch it really thin here. You know what I mean?
I think he's got
Maybe
the
they
weight to get
feel
this up to
the
here, though.
angle on the reds is dangerous, so even going for that front red, they're concerned that it might drive back into, well, red onto red, but then popping sideways onto yellow. That's possible.
Mind the guard.
Double and roll here.
At normal, don't mind it if he knows it, he knows it. It's the same as playing the barrier, at least you give it a chance with the, to make a double at normal.
I know what you mean, you're just worried you're leaving them to opening the button draw for him, but
Yeah, 47 minutes so far, I think, for the 6th end, roughly.
This rolls to here. Might have that, makes that easier. Yeah, just have to try and get this over here.
boys, if we're worried about making this, and it's maybe not even for 2, I don't mind leaving them.
That's a good one, Tom. Yeah, we may have to postpone the start of next year's competition because we're still trying to get rid of this year's. Ooh, and next year's competition, we do know already it will be this same weekend, basically.
As much as I think it would.
So what's that, about the
Make a double.
15th to 17th, something like that?
What's your gut tell you? Let's go with that.
Let me look on the calendar.
Close it barrier, I'm fine with that. If you'd rather just play a double, I'm okay with that as well.
Okay, let's make the double.
I think I'm seeing a double too, Bruce.
Yes, 15th to 17th, 2025. We will all be back again. So you can put that in your diary immediately.
Yeah. Try and get the hair inside.
Lindsay saying that moss might be growing on the sheet. You're not far, well, but obviously moss is not growing on the sheet, but when you haven't thrown a stone for a few minutes, the ice conditions can change a little bit. You know, they're not exactly frosty, but yeah, when there aren't stones going over, then the ice is getting colder.
Clean, clean. Curl.
But finally,
Clean.
we have a stone coming. Yeah, they needed to get to that side of the red. That was the important part. That is a great shot from Bruce Mouat. And after all that work, no opportunity for Ross Whyte to pick up 2, and he is drawing against 4 yellows to pick up 1. It's been really a contrast in styles. Ross Whyte's team really trying everything to keep stones in play, set up some guards, but Bruce Mouat's team just using their huge firepower to neutralise all of it. Let's give Ross a nice shot here. He has to grab the 1 foot. He has
Line's great.
very
Line's
little
real
flexibility.
Good. Always dunk. Running good. Not curl much. Mr. Curl. Curl.
I love to see him get this shot. Oh, I don't think he's quite made it, but he's certainly cancelled out 3 of them. And good as that was a game over if Ross Whyte missed with that shot. So a brave effort from him, but a bit of a mountain to climb now. That is a steal of 1 to Bruce Mouat after a really intense end, and that means our score in our featured semi-final. Bruce Mouat just starting to edge away here. It's Mouat's team leading Ross Whyte 4-1. Tom saying what I think all of us here watching this game are thinking, yeah, Bruce Mouat has really been on fire. And yeah, it's not like anyone else is having a bad game, to be honest. But just, yeah, nothing Ross Whyte's team seem able to do about this massive firepower from Mouat.
Chucked it.
He's brought a little bit of magic to his game this morning, as Bruce Mouat, and Ross Whyte's team just not able to live with it at the moment. They need to find 3 points in 2 ends to take it to an extra end. So objectives in the 7th end, pretty similar really to the 6th end.
Not even an inch high.
Ross Whyte will
Halfway time.
urgently want to put 2 on the board and then take his chance trying to steal an 8th end. That would level the score and bring us to an extra and take his chance there. And I think that's probably their best and maybe only path to a final this afternoon.
Yeah, okay.
Good lord, they're doing the mixed doubles tick shot.
11-5.
And what do I mean by that? So that red, the corner guard, that is protected by free guard zone, so it cannot go out of play. But plenty of play that you can push that red to, And you see this stone a lot in the mixed doubles. When you have a power play in mixed doubles, the placed stone, that's where it starts, is over there as a corner guard. So what Hammy McMillan is trying to do, if he just pops this red even into the rings, which he is, is he going to pop it too far? Ross Whyte doing everything he can to sweep it out, and he does, because now he gets to replace it. But you can see the idea there. If Hammy McMillan could just pop that red, even if it stays in the rings, that's not terrible, because then it's not protected by free guard zone. And you see that shot a lot in the mixed doubles format, the corner guard tick shot. But Ross Whyte's heroic effort to sweep his own stone out meant he got to replace it again.
So you can't
and you and Kyle, again, yeah, nobody having a bad game at all out there, but you and Kyle having a really nice game and doing exactly what his team needs.
I don't mind just centre at the edge of 4 centre.
Like edge of 4.
Yeah.
Fight
On this side.
No, that side's fine, but middle 4.
There?
Farouk looking overwhelmed with the emotion out there. It's really tense, isn't it?
Yeah. 13-3. Think so, boy.
Big task for Ross Whyte and the team to get. Oh,
Not bad, by the way.
what happened there? That looks like Bobby Lammy went over
Stay on the nose of this then.
Just knows it.
piece of ice or something. That's really
Kill it
unlucky. So
somehow.
yeah, he did well to do something with that stone.
It's become a bad joke now.
That's a shame.
I've never played against this before.
You saw him, yeah, just pull his trailing leg up to his slider there. So that is a pity. But is that the curling gods trying to give Ross Whyte some kind of chance here? Whyte's team, as I said, really not doing a lot wrong here. I'm sort of sad on their behalf that whatever they try, and goodness me, they are trying everything. They are just not able to make progress against the Mouat team's firepower today. But maybe a little intervention from the curling gods throws them a chance. The curling gods are very capricious. You never know what mood they're in.
Single.
Yeah. Single or 3 at most.
No less tens over on sheet 3. Scores are tied after 6 ends there, 3 each in the game between Schwaller and Edin. They're in their 7th end. They have 2 stones to come. It's the Swiss with the last shot.
Hit the open one. What's the other guy? Round. We're going round. I'm okay with going round too. I like going round. I think nice and close, man. Really.
So deep breath, Duncan McFadden. The fact that the 8 players out in the ice there, they are very used to this level of pressure. It never gets easy.
Just need to sit there.
As we said, big implications for whichever team is dominating in Scotland.
Yep.
It's Ross Whyte, who is current Scottish champion. But it was Bruce Mouat's team who were at the Worlds. The Scottish selection process, a little bit of an art rather than a science. So big implications in this game. All of these important games and these big competitions will be telling Scottish selectors which of the teams in Scotland is currently in form. And make no mistake, viewer, there are
On
3
this
or 4
side, so
teams
the
in addition to the 2 you can see here
stuff.
who would be absolutely competent at European or world
Well,
level.
They can make it either way then.
Curled a touch.
So in a way, it's a little bit more difficult being the dominant Scottish team than it is winning a European or something. But maybe that intervention from the curling gods, just putting a little piece of fluff in Bobby Lammy's way. Maybe that was the little change in energy that we needed in this game.
Good to go.
As far as you can then.
Good to go. Line will get there.
Line
will get there.
nice. Hard then. Try to get as far back there as you can.
And that stone coming up a wee bit short from Robin
That's
again, but I think important is there is no triple take out.
Half's okay, even a third.
Again, at the club, we would not really be discussing whoops, we've left someone a triple take out. But that is a real risk at this level. And certainly there is a double on here for Grant Hardy.
Clean. Curl! Curl. Really gonna curl. Really gonna go.
And he does get rid of 2 of them. Ross Whyte will not have a better chance to capitalise than he has right now.
Line's running nice.
Line's good.
Line's
good.
Critical that Robin Bryden
Just level them up.
gets this stone in. Oh, we're having a wee look next door.
I've seen this a few times.
Yeah, you've thrown at a controller barrier.
Nice shot. Good sweep.
Well, gosh, that is a big score of 2 on that sheet. And note for the first time this weekend, the Swedes are up against it.
Control.
Our score over on sheet 3. I didn't quite see what happened there. It looked like they were certainly on for being forced to score 1, but I didn't see what happened in Edin's final throw. But that was a huge score of 2 in the 7th end to the Swiss, and they are now 5-3 ahead in their semi-final on sheet 3.
Oh, curl. Clean.
Curl.
Curl. Curl.
Clean.
Hard. 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 I've got. You go hard, 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 hard. Never off, never off. Just get there, get there. Great shot.
That's about as much as Bruce Mouat can do.
Here on that side,
No double takeout available with that throw, so what he wants is simply trying to get his shooter closer to the red over there, hopefully trying to get a mistake from Ross Whyte. And a mistake at this stage would be if Ross Whyte leaves Bruce Mouat a makeable double takeout.
Yeah.
Because even if he hits it, we're going to have a double.
So Sweden up against it. Ross Whyte up against it.
7-8.
But what a couple of semi-finals we are having this morning. Oh, thank you, Michaela, for updating us what happened on sheet 3 there.
Line's good.
I got more than the last one.
A bit room.
Ross Whyte then trying to use that yellow.
Carve in.
If he can just get to a freeze here.
Straight.
Whoa, whoa,
Remember, his objective is to prevent Bruce Mouat removing both of his stones.
No, you're going to make it harder.
And that's travelled on a bit, but maybe that could be helpful.
Can't stuff them both, but I think you're right. Roll to there, it's a really tough to roll. From the same meter barrier.
Or he said just try and chip it and just try and sit there and he's going to really thin double if he wants to take it on.
Just make sure we're line 2.
Yep, make him put a shot for it.
Like Barry.
I think so.
Remember, the objective is straightforward, at least conceptually. Neither skip wants a double takeout to be possible, so if Bruce Mouat can make a double takeout, Ross Whyte will not be able to score 2, and if Ross Whyte can make a double takeout, he will be able to score 2. So Mouat certainly wants to remove this open red, and critical is where this stone will roll to. Final throw in the 7th for Bruce Mouat. I feel like I want to tell you, if you were off ice, all these people are delightful. They're very smiley and happy to talk, but they are a picture of concentration out there this morning.
Hard roll, get it in there, get it in, hard.
Okay.
Overdid it slightly.
Now's your chance, Ross. How do we get it? There certainly is a double takeout, but if you go at it the natural way, so on the anti-clockwise handle, catch the outside of the front yellow and do it that way. You're not going to hang around, and that's not what he wants. He needs to be sitting 2 points after this.
I don't think it's fair to make this way, is it?
I don't think you can move them far enough and hold this.
8 at that.
Hair less, probably.
Well, what are you thinking less for? Because if we're bouncing out, we're putting onto there. So to stick it, we need to put it there.
No, I'm just thinking it's not kind of like that much result.
Yeah, I know. But meaning we need to get rid of this.
If they want to hang around, indeed they need to do this the awkward way. Just catch just the edge of that yellow.
In the first game that really curled. I think that's close. I think we have to give it a good chance.
And for the sake of good curling, I'm sure we would all love to see Ross Whyte get this shot. So deep breath, lad. So on the way, Ross Whyte's final stone of this 7th end. He needs to catch just an edge of this yellow. Just an edge. Go on. Oh, he's done it! What a shot from Ross Whyte. Yeah, a shake of the head from Grant Hardy. Yeah, fair enough. We made it as difficult as we could for him, and still he got it. Yeah, I want to look at this shot again. Look at this. He just needs just like half a centimetre to redirect. Shot of the game from Ross Whyte. Yeah, Bruce Mouat saying nice shot. What an important shot that is. Look at that for a score. That is all of a sudden a million times nicer than it was 30 seconds ago.
You're going long first.
Phew. Deep breath, everyone. Relax again. Asia Pac fan. Come on. Yes, that was a wonderful shot. We all liked that one. Even Bruce Mouat's team
line's good.
Couldn't help but say nice shot there.
Line's good. Rush down if you can, please.
definitely clocked. That was a piece of magic from Ross Whyte, and didn't they need it? They have been working so hard this game to give themselves a chance. When the chance finally came, he just needed one look at it. And really, what a shot. I think that's the best shot I've seen this weekend, actually.
Bobby's in. Bobby.
Round of applause from James. Rightly so.
Bobs.
He's really good. Normal call, normal call. Biting for Bruce.
14-5.
And yeah, rightly, a whole lot of love in the chat for that heroic effort from Ross Whyte's team that end.
A touch more.
Yeah. Sure, Ross.
And indeed, we could trace that all the way back to poor Bobby Lammy running over a little ridge or a piece of ice or something, and not being able to deliver his stone properly.
Line's good.
That just opened the door.
Right.
And finally,
Line's good.
Weight's good.
after such a battling performance,
Oh, over curling right now.
We're tight.
Ross Whyte's team rewarded with a big score of 2, and doesn't that change the complexion of the 8th end? A steal of 1 here. We will go to an extra end. If Mouat scores, they will go to the final.
That's 15 for there.
Over on sheet 3, it is the Swedes needing 2 points. They do have last stone though, so they're just
Very close.
setting up.
Room.
Easy. Yeah,
They do have 2 reds counting, but there are 2 yellows in their way as well.
Yeah, I've got a curl here. 14-1. Alright, not bad.
It's not bad.
Freeze on the nose. Off on the nose is pretty good.
Still poised on a
Maybe
knife
a bit
edge
more
this
Bounce
game.
this.
Freeze on the nose, it takes a bit of getting rid of.
We're only at the semi-final, but
Freezing just brings them all too close together.
worthy of a final so far this game. It's been just perfect. We needed an intervention from the curling gods
Back 4, back 8.
to disrupt Bobby Lammy throwing,
Excellent, excellent.
just to have a chance.
That's cool.
Well, all 4 of these teams have certainly earned their lunch.
Back 4. Back 4.
Heavy
They
lead.
will have
Heavy
a
lead.
couple of hours
Just back 4.
to get some lunch,
Whoa.
try to relax a bit, prepare for a final.
Wait, good.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Yes. Straight. Yes. 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 Try and get that.
Lovely throw from Duncan McFadden. And that's the situation on sheet 3. We have that 1 red, but Nicholas Edin needing 2 reds to take it to an extra end. And you can see there are 2 pesky yellows that he needs to do something about as well. How about then their objective? Exactly the reverse. If Mouat wants to go to the final after this end, they just have to score something. So the easiest way for them to score when they do have last stone is to create as much space as possible for Bruce's final throw. Ross Whyte's objective, exactly the reverse. They want to give Bruce Mouat no space with his final throw.
Hard line this time. Gotta go.
We're back 4.
Whoa. Whoa. Clean.
Back 4.
Yep. Whoa. Curl.
Second throw from Duncan McFadden.
Curl.
That is good work from the second.
Good try, Doc.
Yeah, you can.
Again, it's Ross Whyte's team, as it's been really all game, having to take the
here,
risks
second.
here. They're the
Close
ones having
though.
to play the aggressive stones. But that is the best way to give themselves a chance to steal a point at this end and go to an extra.
Yep, gotta go! Whoa!
Sorry.
That certainly moves things around, but not quite as clear as Bobby Lammy would have wanted there. And we still have that red just biting the very centre, and we have a dangerous red out front, and we have a nice guard on that centre line.
As high as we can.
Make it too good and we cut the card off and go in there themselves.
If anything, the tension ramping up even more in this 8th end of
At least
our
if they make
featured
the double, you
semi-final.
shouldn't leave another guard.
Yeah.
We have a big audience on this Sunday morning for us in Europe.
My concern is if we go in
What
here.
a nice way to start your
Then we
Sunday.
probably have to throw the
Have a
one.
nice brunch and watch just an exquisite game going on out there.
We'd love them to try it.
Here, less, Ross. Much less yet.
It's only Mouat's team who are unbeaten in the competition.
Okay, good to go.
Whyte dropped a game to Yannick Schwaller.
Lines run.
Yannick Schwaller dropped a game to Yves
Rush
Stocker.
down if you can.
Niklas Edin dropped a
Just
game
make sure you're
to
over. Thank Carl.
Marco Høstmælingen, but got their revenge yesterday.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I can go
And
yellow,
that
red.
is that real tricky
Still
shot,
playing the
remember,
yellow.
where we want to be going slow enough to just make it over the hog line, but
7-8.
simultaneously fast enough to nevertheless make it over the hog line.
I'm not giving you more running for his own one guard though, like I'm giving it so you can actually sweep it there.
But we need that really careful placement because
Whoa.
Mouat's team,
Curl.
we have seen them remove stone after stone this game. So looked like Grant not completely happy with his delivery there. We saw him smack his brush down on the ice, make sure he was balanced, and just removing one of the guards then. And that gives Ross a chance to replace it.
I think you're fully covering this one.
Yeah.
We are on
Okay,
4
so just
stones on
limit
sheet
that
3. I was going to say we will soon have our first finalist, but actually we might soon have an extra end over there just as easily. We
Okay,
are going
rush
to
down
need
then.
a bit of Niklas Edin magic on sheet 3
Hair narrow.
if they are going to get to an extra end from here.
Hard down.
Hard dunk.
Give it another go. We're playing the
There
draw.
are no more red stones for Sweden in the house at the moment.
Hold it, Damien.
Good.
Still throwing this.
Probably.
And that is a second guard from Robin Bryden. But those 2 guards quite close together. Can Grant Hardy remove both of them?
1.5 turn right.
Clean.
Whoa.
Yep. Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yes, no sweeping. Normally a happy sign.
Come on, come on, come on.
And that's a nice result. Just getting rid of that dangerous red stone in the front rings. That makes the path to the short stone. Just touching the pin.
Huh?
That's really cleared the path there.
Top 8.
That guard just over the hog line.
Or you bump it and almost make him join it.
Still covering, but we've seen how curly the ice is, and definitely you can get around to the short stone now.
It's almost empty, like, throw the guard here, right? On your next one, so like, just kind of piece of the button, so you can't hit it.
Actually, into that, I just didn't like it.
You know what I mean? There's no like that.
Yeah, we need to throw the guard first.
Yeah.
That?
That's what you give me.
Yeah.
That should be very close.
Right in the centre line.
Yeah.
We're down to the last 4 stones in our featured semi-final at Baden Masters 2024. What a couple of semi-finals we have had this morning.
Right in the centre line.
2 stones to come each. 2 for Whyte, 2 for Bruce Mouat. Whyte needing a steal. Bruce Mouat needing even a blank is fine. That's what's going on over on sheet 3. Nicolas Edin dropping a stone. Just kind of not quite corner freezing, but just in front of one of the Swiss stones. But he's going to need a magical throw with his last stone to pick up 2.
Hard.
Duncan McFadden really trying to carve this stone across, and yeah, great job, sir. That really curled heaps towards the end there. And now we see the function of that stone just over the hog line on its own.
You don't like it?
Not so helpful, but partnered up with the guard that Whyte just threw. Suddenly much better.
If we single and he...
On sheet 3, if Benny Schwartz can remove this red, Sweden have run out of stones, and we will have our first finalist. This is full beans. That red is gone, and we have our first finalist.
Got to try and freeze zone over a little bit.
Yep.
The Swiss hanging tough.
Yep. So if he plays a perfect one, which is...
And it is Yannick Schwaller's team who are the first to book their place in this afternoon's final. They have a couple of hours to have some lunch, recharge the energy batteries.
Yeah, the worry is you take this on just off and stick it there.
So
Feels
the Swedish magic
struggling to not
finally running out.
single and hope you've got something.
But a super game to watch over there as well. Loads of stones in play every end.
Just single, Bob.
But we do have our first finalist. It is Yannick Schwaller's Swiss champions.
It's also the same way though, if you just
They
get it
are
wrong at all,
waiting
you still do
for
this.
someone from Scotland. It will be either Bruce Mouat or Whyte.
What are you playing?
I'll give it a go.
Okay.
Play it safe, like.
Clock says
Okay.
the Swiss fans are happy. Yes, indeed.
Like an inch more.
Always nice when one of the home teams is doing well in the competition. And typically, yeah, we have a lot of folks coming by the club on Sunday afternoon to support the final. If you want to come join us, you are very welcome. But of course, we will be here in the online club as well. So first throw of the 8th. Will it be final end for Bruce Mouat?
Hard!
Whoa.
He just removes the
Half a stone.
one guard.
Even after that.
Now what? You could play that guard again,
Like, because this guard, they're not able to make.
but then would there be space for Mouat to come around on the anti-clockwise handle? There might be.
Double and bump it so
So-
it's next to this. But
Looks like Robin and Ross discussing what if we bring a second red? What does Mouat do with that?
that.
2 stones to come only, and still anybody's game out there. We would expect nothing less from these 2 world-class teams. Well, the final has a lot to live up to, doesn't it, gang? This has been a superb game out there this morning.
Yeah. Back forwards, just about too much, but just pretty good.
So Ross Whyte's final throw of the 8th end. If he makes it nicely, it will not be his final throw of the game. All they can do is give themselves a chance. Duncan McFadden and Ewan Kyle both really leaning into that to try to get it to Curl.
Yep, easy peel or normal, whatever you're saying.
No hesitation from Bruce Mouat.
Yeah, easy peel's good.
Easy peel, he puts the brush right at the side. I guess you can see enough of those 2 stones.
Yeah, normal.
Okay.
Half stone's okay?
Think so.
But good confidence from Bruce, did not hesitate, put the brush straight down. And here he is throwing his final rock of the 8th end. Will it be the final throw of this game?
Yep. Whoa. Curl. Curl. Clean. Curl. Clean. Hammy. Hammy.
And a magical shot from Bruce Mouat. Goodness me, what a game. Ross Whyte's team could do no more than try to give himself a chance there. But Bruce Mouat in no mood for losing today. So Ross Whyte's competition again finishes at the semi-final here at Baden Masters, but thank you to both teams for a wonderful semi-final. That has been an absolute pleasure to watch. I will be really impressed if the final lives up to that quality. So yeah, hard luck, Ross. But thank you for a wonderful game. But yeah, Mouat just didn't miss a shot today and playing with real good confidence. And that will be their first time in a final here in Baden. And what a lineup that sounds like for a final. It is the reigning European champions, Bruce Mouat's team, finally getting past Ross Whyte. And a bruising encounter for both of those teams. Both teams left it all out there on the ice. Fascinating encounter, but it is finally Bruce Mouat's team from Scotland that will be taking on Yannick Schwaller's Swiss champions for the grand final here at Baden Masters 2024. We will be back in exactly 2 hours. So let's all go and have some lunch, decompress a bit. So thank you for your company in the chat. We've had a real fun time with that semi-final. That was a real delight to watch that. So let's hope we have a really good final as well. Come back in a couple of hours for that. Bye for now.
You feel now